We live, we live, we live like we never left. Okay. Right now it is right before 8:30. I'll probably be on for about 30 minutes or so. If you saw the videos, whoa, the echo was on echo. Okay. If you saw the videos that I posted on my socials today, I was rejected from a $25,000 pitch competition that I applied for. So because I didn't get that bread, now we got to go look for some more bread. Now I got to go out here and try to find some more money. Okay. Try to find some more opportunity. All right. And if you guys are unaware, right now I am building a company. Okay. I'm building a tech startup. It feels so crazy to say that. I am building a tech startup. And oh, is there sound? Do you not hear me? I think that might be you. Can y'all hear me? I think audio is connected. Yo, drop some in the chat so y'all can let me know if y'all can hear me. Oh, I'm about to say. I was like, I'm out here in a TV station, you know? Oh, okay. I was like, it's a whole TV station in here. Like, what? I got a button in the world. Okay. All right. So I am, working on building this company. And I'm doing this from scratch. So typically when people talk to me, they're like, yo, what happened? Like, I want to start something. How do I get funding? If you watching my social media channels right now, everything I'm doing right now is from scratch. Okay. This is from the beginning. All right. And also just context to anybody on Instagram, your messages, like when they come up, they're just a little bit more delayed. So, give me some grace here. I'm gonna get to any of the questions that you have in there or whatever's going on. And of course, if you're on the other platforms, because we are live right now on Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. But yeah, so if you're watching any of the content on my social media channels, I am creating this company from scratch. Where if you go onto my Instagram, maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago at this point was when I created this idea. Right. It's kind of an idea that I've had for a while, but like in order for me to like, I'm gonna actually figure out what this looked like was about 3 weeks ago. And I live streamed that entire process of me creating the company. I made the logo on Canva. I made the website on Lovable. I did the pitch deck, like the whole nine. I was like, all right, what is it gonna look like? What is it gonna sound? Literally from scratch. The thing is now is that I'm trying to find funding to make this happen. Okay. And just like if I were to talk to anybody else, if you're like trying to start something and you're looking for bread to do it, in order for you to convince somebody to do something like this, because I've made money in grants before, I've done things before, sure, but not in this industry. This is a little different. When you go for, I was going for grants as an artist, right? As a poet. Now I'm about to talk to people who don't know nothing about poetry, right? They just, these imagine if a poet went in the Shark Tank. You feel me? I cannot. What kind of dialogue am I going to have with Damon John? You see what I'm saying? Like it's a little, it's different to where they're looking at me like, well, what are you going to do in this space? So in order for me to be able to set myself apart, because being different ain't bad. In fact, different is better than better. But that's a whole nother conversation. It's not about necessarily, that. It's more so I'm going to put in as much effort as I can using the resources that I have, whether it's Canva, and all those other things. So what you are looking at in the background, right? So if you're watching this on Instagram, I really do wish there was a way I can like make this bigger on Instagram, but like hopefully if you could squeeze or something like that, or head over to my YouTube channel. I actually just signed up for a platform called Capital Club by Mogul Millennial, right? So I just signed up for this platform, and this platform has a ton of grants, residencies, and it looks like they are probably one of the best. I actually have maybe like 3 subscriptions to different platforms. So at this point, I have more grants and things that I could do anything for. So we're just going to be looking through them. We're going to look through them to see if I can find my next opportunity, because I just lost this 25K pitch, and it was rough. It was rough. Like they put in that rejection. Mind you, I thought I was solid. I really thought I was like aligned with the goals. I was like ready to, oh my goodness. I didn't sleep putting that pitch together. And it's interesting because in their message, they said that the reason that they didn't choose, it was like, well, it just came down to fit in terms of the themes and the format of the event. And this is why I be saying it, yo. Like, it don't matter how good your idea is. It don't matter like how good the person is. The more aligned you are with who they're trying to support is who they're going to choose. The more aligned you are. So I don't know what they were like, working on. Like, I don't know who they were gonna invest in, but maybe it's like healthcare. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's like, logistics or something. Like, yeah, I don't know what they chose because they didn't convey that. They didn't convey that the theme was that it had to open up access. But there could have been in like something that was like not explicit, where they were really being like, yeah, we want everybody to come and, apply, whatever, but we really want to back, things in healthcare. We want to back things in logistics, or we want to back things in like, education or something like that. So you just gotta kind of go through it. But that is what it is. I also sent an email back to them and asked if I could have a 20-minute meeting. If you ever deal with a rejection, I'm not stopping at the rejection. Like, not to say that I'm gonna like repitch them or anything like that, but if I can get you on the phone or have a conversation, I'm gonna do it. So I sent over that email. I don't know if they're gonna actually like respond to me or kind of give me any energy back, but I mean, what's the worst that could happen? All right. So I know that this product is AI enabled. It's online, and now I'm gonna see if there are any grants happening right now that I could that would be interesting to me. Now, I've seen this neurodiverse entrepreneurship program, but I wasn't going to do it because I feel like the people who they choose are probably also going to have a product that also helps out neurodiverse people. I'm not saying that it has to, but I feel like if I'd feel better about it if I did. I'm not a 501c3. Oh, wait, hold up. NYU AI pitch opportunity for entrepreneurs and innovators building AI powered solutions that address real world challenges. Today is the deadline. Today is a deadline, yo. Oh, that's funny. I'm only leaving pull this up. You have to pay for this. I hope she done dipped off just to, yeah, you gotta pay for this. You gotta sign up, sorry. But it's I think it's like I just signed up for it literally before I started this. So at the end, I'm going to let you know whether or not I think it's worth it, because I do think that there are a lot of people who sell grant lists and it's just like, but someone told me and someone recommended this to me that I really trust, and they were like, yo, they really keep this up to date. And that's really the most important thing. How up to date can you keep this? All right, this one is it expires today though. Okay, hold up. Open to all business owners, researchers, students, and early stage founders. This year, the New York SBDC is partnering with and supporting. Are you AIP? You could win up to $50,000 in. Is it for credits or is it for money? Because that makes a difference. You about to give me a yeah. It's because it says in AWS partner funding. So that ain't specific enough for me. Something off with that. You start seeing something like that, I'd be like, what that mean? What does that mean? You gonna give me a gift card? I mean, it might be worth something for real, but like, you put 50K in and people think that that's what it means. Okay, so we have contact, project, business, submit. All right, let's see what they, let's see what they got going on here. Oh, wait, can you see? Oh, you can't even. That's so crazy. I'm so sorry. I gotta be remembering that y'all got other screens. Cause I'm going through this whole thing and y'all don't even see what I got going on. So let me swap it over. My bad. My bad. This is it. So this is the one that I'm looking at. NYU AI pitch competition, right? And it says up at the top, be awarded up to 50K in AWS partner funding. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? If you try and go out to get some bread, it's not bad for you to go for other things that are not just money. And it looks like it says April 30th. Is that the deadline though? Because it said April 15th on the thing. What's the deadline? Because the deadline also make a difference. But that might be the day of the pitch competition. But it's not telling me the day of the day. Okay, so let's see what they need. The name of the project, description, AI use, problem solving, future scale. Okay. Let me just fill this in real quick so that I can see what the rest of the questions are. Yeah, I do this. It has to be 100 characters. You not about to get me. Let me get some lorem ipsum. You not about to get me. No. I ain't about to write all that. No. All right. Also, to everybody inside of the room, I have another species. Her name is Milo. Can't do anything without Milo. So be sure to say hi to Milo Bird whenever she pops in. So don't be alarmed if something starts flying. Okay. So let's get some lorem ipsum in there. Ha, got it. Okay. Are you currently hosting on that? And then pitch deck, demo link, and then submit. Okay. This isn't too bad because I actually think, will I do this? I might. Let's hold on to that. Let's see what else is here because I don't know if I want to put because that's also due tonight. And I am the queen of 11:59, but I may not have the energy. I dealt with a rejection today. I gotta take it slow. At this point, I'm just trying to soothe my wounds. Okay. Pediatric medical devices. Oh, what is this here? Oh, all of these are the 15th. Oh, let me see this here. Well, if anybody in here got some time tonight, there's a whole lot of things to do where music, entrepreneurship, and capital readiness meet. That is an interesting combination. Tell me more. Oh, it's 8-week NOLA court, one-on-one coaching, and compete for a $5,000 business capital grand prize. Nope. Too much work. Too much work. See what else we got here. There's a stop it. You can't eat this. You can't eat this. It's too salty. Okay, so this is a tech showcase. This is in Carolina. And this is okay, so there is a pitch competition. Selected companies will take the main stage for a 3-minute live pitch, Q&A in front of the tech and entrepreneurial leaders from across the state, with the winner chosen by the conference attendees. Okay. Selected participants receive 2 complimentary event registrations. All right, so I can pull up. Exhibit space. Okay, so, you can vend. Visibility in the event promotion and a chance to win cash, but they don't tell me how much. To be eligible, your startup must be headquartered in North Carolina. All right, moving on to the next. Moving on to the next. You know what I mean? Do your identity maps, people. That's why I be saying it. Because it's like, it don't matter how good my idea is. I got to live in North Carolina. You feel me? Or it's like, it don't matter how great my company is. It got to be medical. You know what I'm saying? Like, they fund what they want to fund. All right, we getting into the 16th. At least give me another day. Michigan, West Virginia, San Antonio, Caribbean climate. You see what I'm saying? I should have got me something to drink. I wish you had like the ability to do that. You know that? Because you have wings. I just wish they were a bit more functional. You carry things like your pigeon counterparts. Now, people used to carry letters and things like that. I want water. Would you like to be a resource? Guess not. Okay. Google AI, opportunity for nonprofits and social enterprises across AI. Using AI across health, climate, energy, agriculture, and beyond. Interesting. I do help nonprofits, but I don't know what they're looking for specifically. So let's take a look. It's a lot of money. Yeah, machine learning. I'm not in climate, agriculture, food tech, but I could be nonprofit. So that's why I'm kind of like calling my founders 30 million in funding for transformative applications of AI across health, climate, beyond. Okay. The scientific ambition and impact, innovation, responsibility, feasibility, scalability. I don't think they're looking for what I'm doing. I think that they're looking for climate or like agricultural things, and I'm not willing to in the next 2 days work on that. This Saturday, I'm going to be in the next round of the World Championship of Public Speaking. So I will likely, I won't say likely, these next 2 days is just working on my speech because I'm competing. I just found out today too that I'm going last. There's 4 people competing and I'm going last. I was like, oh, look at God. I love going last. Oh, I love going last. That is, I like my favorite is either third or last. You know, if I do any of those, you know what I'm saying? That'd be it. So I did sign up for the pro plan. Shout out to you, MSM 972. I did sign up for the pro. Did I sign up for the pro plus? I don't know which one I did. I did the most basic. It was like $15.99 or something like that. So far, so good. I think this is like, it's looking good. They got the deadlines here. It's all nice and neat, because I've also seen some grant lists where it's a struggle trying to read everything. Black data processing is an idea from idea to launch. Black professionals and founders in the tech space. Okay. I am both of those things. Let's talk about it. Oh, I love being Black. People be asking me, that question where it's like, if you can come back as any other Black in every lifetime. In every last one. Yeah. Okay, I don't think this is me. This is Indianapolis. That ain't it. I also, by the way, anybody who be joining my Grant Lab live calls. So I have a live coaching call that happens on Fridays usually. I'm not going to do it this Friday just because I'm competing in the championship. But if you join my calls, if I like meet you and I know what you do, like you might end up getting a whole lot of grants to your inbox. Like, because I know there are people who I met with like weeks ago, like a month ago. And if I see something, I'll be like, oh, wait, Tracy is going to be able to do this. Oh, they will be able to do this. I don't know how long. I would suggest you get on my calls. I don't have one right now. I probably might have a call next week, but I suggest you get on one of them calls. Because you got to get me before I lose all the names. You know what I'm saying? Before I don't remember anybody's names. So let's see here. Oof. I want to show you guys one of my favorite things. I like to see. And this is definitely something like, in terms of perspective, this is something that like, I believe, I'm not saying this is the way that it works, but this is just what I think about when I see it. If I see that there is an opportunity and the deadline has been extended, I'm excited. Oh, I am so excited. And I'm going to tell you why I get excited. If I see that a deadline is extended, my immediate thought is that they don't have enough high quality applications and they are extending the deadline. That's my immediate thought. Because think about it. If, let's say this place had, they only got 3 people who read these applications. If they got like 1,000 entries and they got to be able to go through all these, what they going to say? Listen, no, it's closed. I'm sorry. We cannot accept any more applicants. But if they extend the deadline, my assumption is that they don't have enough good applicants. So if you ever see that the deadline has been extended, I'm not saying, but it make me tingle a little. As soon as I see that, I start to tingle. I'll be like, all right, you trying to find somebody. You ain't find what you wanted to find yet. Because the moment they open an open call, the moment a grant opens, and this is, again, inside, they looking at them. They looking at them entries as soon as they start coming in, because they want to see like, okay, who's coming, what kind of projects they want to do. Like, have you checked it out yet? Like whoever is like looking at it. It's not like they open in the thing and then they wait until the day after it closes to start. Nah, they start looking. And when they start looking and they start seeing it, like, oh, we ain't really get, too many, or like the pitch competition I just applied for, it was for $25,000. Take a guess. Drop in the comments. Take a guess what how many people applied. Take a guess how many people applied to that pitch competition. Just put a number in there and I'm gonna let you know. Okay, take a guess. And if you want to hop on the calls, I'm hoping to have one next Friday. I'm not sure because next week is when I'm planning to do the prototype. All right. So we have 10, we got 15. All right. 30. All right, yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about, right? So this is a $25,000 pitch competition. And there were 109 people who applied. Okay. 109 people. Out of the 109, they selected 10 people as finalists. Of the 10 people, they are going to select 4 people to each give $25,000. I had to Google this. Okay. Their acceptance rate was 3.67%. 3.67%. That is actually reasonable. Most people don't know that. That's actually pretty reasonable. 3% when you go for something like that. But like of that 109, you probably had, I would easily give it to only half of those applicants were actually viable. That's why I be telling y'all to apply. Because I had a grant one time, like I did one myself where I was like getting artists and I was like, hey, everybody apply to this program. I'm going to fly you guys out to Florida. I'm going to fly everybody out to Florida. And I paid for it with a grant that I got from a company in California. But I was like, I'm going to fly all y'all out to Florida. Everybody submit. Let's go. Right. So I had 100 people apply to that program. 100 people applied to that program. And out of 100 people who applied, we only had like 20 applications that were good. You know what I mean? Like people who actually took the time to like, answer the questions or put in the thing. There was only about 20 of them. Them numbers don't matter. If you see somebody who applied, there's 4,000 applications. You got to understand how many of them things is actually good. You know what I mean? Where they actually like, they took the time or at this point, now it's like not obviously AI. How many of those applications are not obviously AI? You being a human immediately makes you stand out. Immediately makes you stand out. That's exactly what I'm saying. I appreciate you, MSM 972. I appreciate you. You feel me? Yes. So let's see what other options we got here. And also talk to me in the chat. What do you do? Because if I'm looking for these grants and opportunities, I might, come across something that y'all could actually apply for. So be sure to put in the chat what exactly is you do. And by what it is you do, don't necessarily, I don't want to know if you like a, spiritual healer or something like that. What the real question is, what is it that you want to get funded? Very specifically. All right. Treat this like a grant application with one sentence. Like you're like, oh, I want to get my book to do this, or I want to get an exhibition to do that, or I want to run a business to do this. Put that in the chat, because if we come across something, you know what I mean? If we come across something and you put it in the chat, I'm gonna personally send you a link to the application for you to apply. Just because you're here. So marinate on that as I go through the rest of these things. All right. So deadline extended. I like to see that. But is this opportunity for high potential and proximate early childhood organizations? I'm not working with kids. I ain't in Delaware. I think G Beta I'm gonna sign up for. They don't have funding, but I think G Beta is what I think I'm gonna sign up for G Beta, because I do want to be in an accelerator program, largely because of the network. none of my friends are making a tech company. And honestly, I don't have a ton of friends around me either. So, because I moved to a whole new city. So it's almost like, I kind of have to redevelop my network, particularly with people who do what I do. So, one of the things that I was considering is that I would do like a co-working space, but I don't want to pay for one. And since I don't want to pay for a co-working space, I was like, oh, I'm going to do an accelerator program that's in person so that I can get the same benefits of co-working, but without having to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? You got to finesse it. I made another video before where I was like, yo, if your reason that where you're not doing something is because of the money, you don't really want to do it. Because there's too many ways for you to get what you want without spending a dime. Too many ways. Honestly, you can sign up for Capital Club right now and get a 7-day free trial and spend one whole day just going through every single one of these opportunities that's available and apply to them. Oh, you want to do a conference for Black birth workers? Interesting. Well, let's see if we got something here. All right, a global initiative to scale women-led businesses across emerging markets. Hey, did we find something? It depends on how much you need, though. Because this one is for 2 to 5K. And if you want to have like a seminar, let's see here. Is a global initiative to scale women-led businesses across emerging markets. More visionaries across it. Okay, we are looking for established businesses that use technology to solve real-world problems. Are already. Oh, they're looking for tech companies. All right, the founder must be between 23 and 40 years old. You see how specific these things get? They was like, you got to write with your left hand. You got to make sure you got to be a pescatarian. Okay, and you can be like, what? This is so specific. And you got to be a citizen or resident of an eligible company, of a eligible country within Africa, the Middle East, South, Latin America, or the U.S. Okay. You got to be in operation for a minimum of 3 years. It got to be led by a woman. This is, you see what I'm saying? You see how specific this get? If y'all haven't done your identity map, it is in the link in my bio. People look at me like I'm crazy when I tell people to do their identity map. All right. I got you MSM, by the way, with your contracting too. I saw your message. But people be looking at me crazy. When I be telling them, I'm like, yo, if you going for grants, before you even look for funders, who are you? I need you to write down on a sheet of paper everything about yourself, because you don't understand how there's going to be some random thing about who you are that's going to get you money. Right? Just like the fact that I'm 33. Okay, now I'm eligible. You know what I mean? The fact that you're a woman, the fact that you working in whatever, like these are the things that I'm talking about. I appreciate the follow too. So be sure to write like what you do. All right, let's see. Because that one, I don't know if that one's gonna work for you. I don't know if that one's gonna work for you with the conference. Okay. So MSM over here on YouTube is doing retired U.S. Navy officer, woman-owned government contracting business. That is serious. That is serious. Sometimes I be wondering why all these serious people be following me. I be like, how y'all end up here? Oh, Lord. You know what it is? And I've had this conversation with other people. They be like, oh, your energy is like really, infectious. And it's because people be making grants seem old and boring and institutional or whatever. And I was like, wait, hold up. I think this is a little gap I got here. Yeah, let's have some fun. Let's have some fun getting this bread exciting. How can we find people who want to support us and then we use our words to convince them otherwise? Okay, so you have a so women, minority, veteran. See, that's what I'm talking about. Those are the identity things that I'm talking about. Women, minority, veteran. So there are going to be things that you could apply for that I can't even touch. You know what I'm saying? I have an issue with authority. I wasn't JROTC though. And if I were to choose a branch, it would be the Navy. You guys have great meals. You guys have great meals. Okay. We have another person over here. T Sky Love Tunes. All right. So you are a filmmaker, multidisciplinary artist. Directed over 35 music videos and other projects. Currently getting a Black indie feature film. Think she's got to have it 2026. Okay, fire. So I think I'm definitely going to see a lot more film opportunities on here. And I think I don't know how many times I'll be seeing feature film stuff. Them things be all over the place. But let's go in. Because I think these are a lot of stuff. A lot of this is on tech. They extended the deadline for this one. What did I say about extending the deadline? What did I say? I was going to apply to this one. But it's for consumer-based products, right? Maker's Mindset. This one is $10,000 and it's for people who are doing consumer brands. And when they say consumer brands, anything that like you're like it's like a product, you know what I'm saying? Lotions, bath soaps, you know what I mean? Things like that. That's what I mean. Yeah, I appreciate the compliment, MSF. He's like, you're funny. I'm like, no, I'm insane. And I've been alone long enough that I just don't mind people feels the type of way about me. Okay, let's see here. Pitch at Brunswick. Okay, you got to be from Brunswick. Bio challenge. Big idea. You got to be from Texas. I wonder if there's a way to filter. But I also want to I would want to filter this, but I know so many people looking for stuff that I also just want to see things. Because I feel like if I see it like Georgia nonprofits, I know somebody who was in a call supporting health, education, environmental. Okay, cool. I'm gonna send this to somebody. Somebody was in my call and he was he owns a museum. And I don't know what the thing was. It was like the first traveling African American collection museum or something. And he's in Georgia. But he also bought a farm. You know, he's like, I bought a farm. I'm trying to get money for the farm. I love it when people just buy farms. It's just been a thing where people just be wanting to buy farms. I don't know how, there's very few people I know who actually do it, but there's a lot of people I know who talk about it. They I just want to buy a farm and go off and do what I need to do. So I'm going to save this and send it to him. But let me, letters of inquiry. And by the way, a letter of inquiry or LOI is just you basically saying that you want like a letter of interest. Like you actually want to apply for an opportunity. LOIs are something that happen so that you don't have to go through the process of doing an entire application. Typically because if the application is longer, they don't want you to spend all that time and you may not be aligned with the opportunities. Alignment is the biggest reason why people don't get grants or don't get funding. The pitch competition, it was alignment, right? So it's like you go through that process. So that's what LOI is. I followed you for your audacity and willingness to win and bring it back to the people. Facts. Bring it back to the people who want to win. Period. Agriculture is untouchable. So yeah, good idea. Agriculture is really big right now. That's why sometimes I also just don't talk about the fact that you should go for the grants, but also how do you position yourself? Because sometimes if there's a lot of money in agriculture, if there's a lot of money in climate, how could you adjust what you're doing to, highlight some level of that? Oh, you new to the grant space? I'm in PA. Janelle, I think that's what your name is. Okay. I want to do a project. Music Against Suicide. I need a grant or sponsorship. What kind of project though? What kind of project? I immediately off the top say that you should focus on mental health. But this is why I say that what kind of project, because let's say if you were to go youth, that'd be very different. It would be different if you were to go mental health. It would be different if you went neurodivergent, but what kind of project do you want to do? Because if the thing is that typically most people will say to me, they have a very broad idea about what they want. Where it's I want to write a book or I want to, build this thing. But when you go to submit the application for a grant or even for a pitch competition like I do, you have to be very specific. Very specific. I want to host an exhibition that brings together 20 artists who have all dealt with these issues to this specific audience of 200 people to engage in. And it will then result in, you see what I'm saying? That's how specific it needs to be. And the reason it needs to be that specific is because the person that you're pitching to, right, is trying to figure out if you're aligned with what they're trying to do. That's why. So let me know what you mean by project. And let's see if we get something along, if something else pops up. And if this is small on your screen on Instagram, you could hop over to my YouTube channel. It's at the link in my bio. And you could probably see that a little bit better. But if you in here, I'll read it out loud for you. You know what I'm saying? Hey neighbor. I'm also buying a chicken farm in Africa. Of course you are. Everybody buying a farm. You ever like the Rick Ross video? He's just like, yo, we about to buy some chickens, homie. Thousands of chickens, thousands of them. Just quack, quack, quack. And he's like, yo, I think I made a video for that. Just for that, I might put out that video tomorrow. Because I like said something too. But yeah, everybody want to buy a farm. That's what everybody want to do. I want a farm. You're right. That's exactly what we should do. I ain't gonna hold you. I try to make some collard greens and cilantro, and they all died. I tried so hard. I'm gonna try again though. It's specific because it needs to be measurable, and I have a love-hate relationship with this. You know, the thing is though, the reason why I truly love the fact that you have to be so specific in your grants is because you get so much better at being able to tell your story. That's the lost art that most people don't think about when it comes to grant writing, because the more you have to get specific about what it is that you want to do is the more specific you have to get it is about what you do. Because I guarantee you, and tell me if I'm wrong in the chat, I bet every one of you got big dreams. Tell me if I'm wrong. I bet every one of you in this chat got big dreams. Anybody who watches this video in the future, I'm sure you got big dreams. And the thing about having big dreams is that you think like this. You know what I mean? Like I had a conversation with somebody in one of my calls. She was like, she wanted to buy a hotel. And then the theme would be having wellness events in the hotel so people could stay and they could also be able to exchange. I was like, okay, great. How many events have you done? Never done an event before in her life. So you haven't done an event? She was trying to get like $500,000 to go get, and I will be the bearer of bad news. Listen, if you got an idea and I feel like, okay, cool, we could do it like this, I'm gonna help you. But if you tell me something like that, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Don't come to me if you ain't trying to hear the truth. So I was like, girl, pump the brakes. Let's start over again. You got to start small. You got to start small. You got to start specific. When I tell you I have been doing what I have been doing, I started writing like professional. Like I probably started writing. It's been 25 years since I've been doing art professionally, right? I was applying to programs when I was like a teenager. It wasn't grants. I was applying to programs. I did some scholarships and all those kind of things like that. So I was always applying to things. But my first major grant that I won was 6 years ago. And over the last 6 years, I've won over $350,000 at this point now. And then performance opportunities and things like that. But the thing is that I had to, like, when I tell you, like, if someone came to me and was like, they wanted to make their big dreams come true, I don't know if I'm the person to talk to you. I can make little actions look big and get you what you need to do it. And the reason why you should go that route is because, again, you got to learn how to write your story. You got to learn how to do the thing you say you want to do. You got to learn how to do the thing you say you want to do because you think you want to do it. And I'm not saying that you don't, but what I'm saying is that I know I wanted a chicken farm, but the reality is I don't know if I'm gonna wake up every morning and do what I need to do with them hens. You know, I don't know if I'm gonna do all that. I got one little chicken. That's it. You know, the money is coming. The money is there. There is more than enough. If you leave this live video with anything, understand that there is more than enough for everybody to have enough. Right? There's more than enough for everybody to have more than enough. It exists. It exists. Don't ever think that there's no lack of money. I just got an email. I don't know what it's for though. After that whole rejection, it just be making my heart hurt. I was supposed to go number 4. Oh, I think they wrote this wrong. Yeah, I think they wrote this wrong. They'll change that. I'm not worried about it. Okay. Um, sorry about that. Like, how old are you? You are so young. You 25. No, if you ask me how old I think I'm pretty sure I said it earlier. But if somebody asked me like, how old are you? You have to guess now. I'm childish. We play games. Okay, so government contracting. Let's get specific on yours. Let's see if I could find a contractor or film. Let's see film or contracting. Let's see here. Founder focus, any BIPOC, black female, black founders, college. Veterans. Let's see what they have for the veterans. Okay. Oh, snap. Dang, man. This is why I should have served the country. This is why I should have served the country. Everybody put your guess in the chat. The right guess wins what? Wait, what was your it's for mental health, using music and a support group community of counselors. So weekly musical events intertwined with therapy. I don't know what I want to give. A thumbs up. I was gonna say maybe like I could find a grant for you, but like I don't know. This is my first time looking at it, so I don't know if I can guarantee that one. So okay, let's see here. And also MSM, where are you at? Because that's gonna matter too. Did you put that in the chat where you're at? Because location matters, as you can tell. Because we have Denver and all these other places. Okay. Oh, your environment. Oh, well, look at that. Okay, well, let's see here. All right, so this person is MSM is working in environmental sustainability entrepreneurship. Okay, so it's $1,000. The deadline is the 21st. I say go for it, right? Don't be fretting on these lower on the lower grants. Those are the best ones. I love myself one of these $1,500 grants. I'll go for the 25 to 50s and the set. I'll go for those. But I don't play with these little, these little drops here. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what we got going on. So equipping underserved entrepreneurs, but you have to be from Denver. That was the reason why I said that. Yeah, you got to be from Denver. I don't know if you're from Denver. But that's how specific I get. You see what I'm saying? Like, in order for you to go for this grant, you got to be BIPOC, you got to be an entrepreneur in environmental in Denver doing this, and that's only from the top. But there's probably other things you got to be too. Nothing over 35. I refuse to believe it. You are correct. You are correct. I am under 35. No need to cover me on that one there. Yes. But to answer the general question, because we ain't gotta go too far into the weeds. I'm 33. So I started mind you, but I said someone said 28, and I was like, I've been on stage for 25 years. Yo, wouldn't that be crazy if I was 3 years old up on it, like, yo, spitting fire flames? Fire flames. I started public speaking when I was 8 years old. So I'm 33. Yeah, hold on a second. My bird is birding. Come on. Good job. All right. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I figured. I figured you missed that part because I was just like, that's some math right there. You know what I mean? I definitely wasn't a talker. I could talk, but I wasn't the person you see in front of you today. Okay, so let's see what else we have going on. Yeah, give me your location, MSN. And also, anybody inside of the chat, if you're just joining in, hello, hi. Today I was rejected from a $25,000 pitch competition, so now I'm in the process of trying to find more opportunities. And if you are on this call and you drop in here what you do, I will also see if there's anything here for you. So there isn't anything more on the veteran side, but I think that you could be open for other things. Okay. Anybody trying to say something to me? So next up, we're gonna look at some film. Let's look at anybody doing film, but I don't see that they have one for film specifically. But you know what though? I have another one called Grants for Creators, and I think they have stuff for film. And we also have someone who is doing mental health, anything around suicide. And you're in Africa. Interesting. Okay, I'm glad I didn't make that bet because I'd arguably say that like 90% of the opportunities that I find are in the US. Like 95%, like Lysol numbers is in the US. And that is mainly because the systems that I use to find grants are all in the US. And then I'm also looking on US internet. So it's like as I go to search things and stuff like that, damn, I just ended up in a group chat. I just ended up in a whole group chat. All right. My daughter's looking for scholarship. She is a first year undergraduate. She is an international student from somewhere else, I imagine. Canada in the US. So I would recommend going over to some place called securingdegrees.com. I'm pretty sure it's .com. Securingdegrees.com. I actually just talked to the owner of this place. Is it? No, it's not securingdegrees.com. What is it? Securing.org. Securingdegrees.org. I'm gonna show you this real quick. And shout out to her too, by the way. I'm gonna show you who this is. I actually met with the owner of this and she is her name is Victoria, and she helps people get scholarship money. That's what she does. That's literally what she does. She helps people get scholarship money. Over 10,000 students. She's secured over $50 million in scholarships. She went to school entirely, she had millions of scholarships. So that's what it is. That's what I would say. That is for sure the person you go to talk to. So that is securingdegrees.org. Securingdegrees.org. Okay. Script writing, game creations. I'm definitely a mixed bag. That is a lot of things in your bag. That is a packed bag. That's like my mom's bag on Sunday morning. Oh, shout out to Southern Cali. It's still daylight where you are. It's not where I am. But yeah, so like this person got $100,000. So be sure to take that one down. Securingdegrees.org. Okay. Actually, all right, let's go to here. So this is another platform that I use to find opportunities, and we had some filmmakers. I don't like the way that this is structured, but it is kind of helpful because they do have stuff on here. So for the filmmaker, all of these things are important. Like, let's see here. Midway through a music doc on the Shy's unsung soul folk jazz maestro. Self-funded so far. School refugee. My style is artsy, not cookie cutter. Docs are tough. These are all documentary, I think. Are you doing documentary or feature? It's a feature film. Okay. All of these ones here are documentary. Feature is a little bit harder. Actually, is Catapult happening right now? I think I just saw Catapult. What was Catapult for? Was Catapult feature? Nah, it's nonfiction. Oh, I need to take myself out of this group chat. Jesus, live and learn. Okay. I think this is nonfiction. Yeah, it's nonfiction. But let me see if Catapult has any other thing. We got any other filmmakers in here? I feel like I talked to a lot of filmmakers. I feel like I talked to a lot of filmmakers. Oh, no, that ain't it. Okay. Okay, .org. That's what it is. All right. Oh, thank you. Someone said I was very helpful. you know. And then also shout out to anybody who's tuning in over from Twitch, over from YouTube. Thank you so much for coming on over here. You're probably just randomly seeing me, so you probably don't have any context, but my name's Queena. I have been a professional artist for the last 6 years, although I've been on stage for over 25 years. A lot of the way that I've been able to sustain my artistic career was through grants, fellowships, residency programs. I have pitched and applied myself not just for money, but also opportunities. I have traveled to Dubai, Costa Rica. You know, I've run my own arts programs. These are all just like pitches that I go for. And at this point, I just started sharing on the internet like a month ago about how I'm like, oh yeah, I be trying to persuade people to give me their money, time, and energy and resources, and it works out for me. And a lot of people are also looking for that too. So I have grown over 35,000 followers at this point, over 1.2 million views. So, hi, I guess. Nice to see you guys. So I appreciate anybody who tunes in, right? Because you're don't even think any of those numbers really like you here. You early on. Trust me. You real early on, because here I am still dealing with rejections and trying to get this drawing funded. Try and get this drawing funded. But if you tell me what you do and we see something that comes across it, let's go. I would say, by the way, Love Tunes over on YouTube, check out Catapult Film Fund. I think most of it is nonfiction. But here's the other part of it too, is that when you are going for any I'm not from Philly, but I do live in Pennsylvania now. And I think I'm saying John more often. I'm saying John more often. I ain't gonna hold you. It's there. But I also still got my ear. I'm from Jersey. So it's not, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Jersey. So that's why you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I am in PA now. So at least for now. At least for now. I needed to find somewhere that was affordable, where I could get me a spot so I can put in a lab and try to go all in on this internet stuff. So all right, let's see if I can, because I'm trying to help you and I'm trying to help myself. Okay. I want to look for an accelerator. Oh, you could choose both. Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna go for accelerator. The thing is, I don't know if it's like any, you said we cousins. Where you at? You in Jersey? You probably like with Delaware or something like that. Where everybody from? Because we got everybody from everywhere. Right now, we got, you know what I mean? I'm out here, PA. We got Cali. I don't know where MSM. I know they ain't in Denver. That's for sure. I know they ain't in Denver. Yeah, let me know where y'all at. Because y'all was, we already had somebody in Africa. And somebody was in NYC. I feel there's a lot of East Coast over here. Baltimore. Baltimore. That's what it is. Yeah. What up, Baltimore? I actually have a client. I just signed a nonprofit client, where I just signed a nonprofit client. So I was like, oh yeah. That's fire. Okay. Let's see what else we got going on here. Starters with innovative, scalable ideas tackling human critical infrastructure. I don't know what that means. So now I have to know. That's the other thing too. Sometimes I just don't be knowing. You from Atlanta? Yo, shout out to Atlanta. I told somebody on the last live that I don't have the best experiences with Atlanta, but excuse me, I ain't had the best experiences when I went over there. I almost like which time? Yeah, it's so crazy that like I had some experiences where I almost like I went to Atlanta that time. I was like, yo, remember that other one time I went to Atlanta? Yeah, Atlanta. Whew, it just be hot down there. Things be happening. Currently in Washington though. So shout out to Washington State. I've never been there. And I've traveled to many other states. And I think I'm going to be traveling a bit too, because some of the programs that I'm applying to is in multiple locations. So you see this right here? You see this word right here? It says optional. If you ever see me go for a grant, or if you see a grant that comes up and the word says optional, like, oh, if they say additional files and put optional, if they put pitch video and it say optional, it's not optional. Okay. If you follow Queena Bergen, it's not optional for you. All right. That's the requirement. Okay. When you clicked follow, when you joined, when you subscribed, you made the commitment that whenever it says optional, it's never optional. Okay. And you can give a guess why I'm going to say why it's not optional. Because the people who do that, how do they appear to the judges? I told you what you needed to do before. If this is your first grant and you've never done it before, what do you got to do? Show effort. You ain't got to be a whole lot of money. It just got to be effort. It don't got to be a whole crazy video. It just got to be effort. It just got to be effort. That's it. I don't think this is me though, because this is engineering procurement. This looks deep. For the music diet, it's harder because an artist is well known in Europe but never big in the US. Made 15 wrecks. It was massive attack. Huge British. Is it huge? You have so much information inside of this. I'm trying to. It's the house music theme show. Yeah. Okay. Word. Do you follow me on Instagram, by the way, Love Tunes? Let me know if you follow me on Instagram. You know, let me know. Shout out to Southern Cal. Shout out to Southern Cal. I've been to Cali a few times. Always been great. Just a whole different vibe out there. Whole different vibe. Okay, let's see what other things we got going here. Because Queen is trying to make some money, right? And I'm still debating on how much I need, because I'm paying out of pocket to build my MVP, which I'm going to do even before I even start pitching for these things. I'm gonna, I try to get clients, and then I'll use that money to help pay for the creation of the MVP. I'm also making the MVP myself, so I'm not coding it, but we have AI now, so I use AI to be able to do that. So the money that I want is not just for the product, but I want to get into marketing, marketing the product. And I also want to be able to give me leeway, because when I moved to Pennsylvania, I moved maybe only like in the beginning of this year, and I only had a leeway for a certain amount of time. I only had 3 months, and it was on the second month that I ended up having the videos go off. It took me 2 months, and I was able to add, you know what I mean? I'm negotiating a brand deal right now that I'm hoping is going to add me a few more months to that. But that's how I'm living right now. I'm not like today I'm not check to check. It's more like month to month. You know what I mean? Like, I got enough to but I'm trying to get ahead. We not trying to do all that. I'm trying to get ahead. I'm trying to create a pathway here, and one of the reasons why I've kind of shifted away from the art stuff that I was focused on is because I need to build more sustainable income. Grants are a great opportunity for people, and especially at a certain point in your career. But the thing about grants is, once you get a grant, because you have to do it for a specific project, what happens when the project is over? I have to go get another grant. I have to continually keep doing that. And in my universe right now, leverage is the name of the game, which means whatever I do and wherever I build needs to be able to pay me in perpetuity, which is why I wrote a book, Fund Your Vision, the complete funding guide for those doing it alone. You want to buy the book, it's in my bio. But I made the book once, I'm going to sell the book for however long. You see what I'm saying? Like, or if I build the app, people get on the product, I have monthly reoccurring revenue. That's the type of energy I'm trying to be on. I cannot do I'm gonna try to make the bag this way. It's too short-sighted for me right now, because I've been in too many situations where I had to decide what bill was gonna get paid. You know what I mean? And in all transparency, I'm gonna let you know how my bills go. Hey, I don't know, y'all all might be balling, but I'm gonna let you know how how my bills go. My most important bill is my internet. My most important bill is my internet. You would think it's rent, But in my mind, my logic is if I have internet, I can make more money. That's just my logic. If I have internet, I can make more money. Not even my phone bill, my internet, like at the house or whatever. Like, because if I can, if I'm home, I ain't got to go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hook that up to the Wi-Fi. My phone cut off for a little bit. That's all right. I got the internet. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So that's my most important one is internet. Second is my power. Right. And honestly, power and rent are kind of close, but like you could not pay your power bill for a little bit before they cut it off. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't immediate. It's not like, oh, if I miss one payment, they gon', you know what I'm saying? That's same thing with my rent. Of course, there's gonna be a little, there's late fees and all that kind of stuff or whatever. And I'm not encouraging anybody to not pay their bills. All I'm saying is it get a little sticky sometimes. You gotta make some choices. You gotta make some choices. If you know anybody that is a career artist, they've had to make some choices. And I'm gonna let you know mine. My internet is the number one. In my mind, if I have internet, I can make more money. Okay, let's see what else we got here. For-profit businesses located in the US, 20K in potential. What does that mean? I'm just saying things. You just gotta be Botox Cosmetic. I don't even think I'm gonna be able to do this. Come on, you can't eat it. You can't have any. I know you want it because it's salty, but you can't have any. You need multiple streams of income. Absolutely. And you know what it is too? I know, like, I want to also preface this by also saying I'm not only saying multiple streams, I am saying income producing assets. That is what I'm building. Income producing assets. As in, I am going to spend money and money, time, resources on creating assets that are income producing. That's what it is. And I don't have to. I hope that as I start to grow and things like that, that I could sell more things and all that kind of stuff. But if I make a bunch of these different things and at different price points, so right now I have, if you wanted a one-on-one call with me right now, I think it's like $5.99, right? For you to do a one-on-one call with me, which is, that's in a few people's budget. I've done a few of those one-on-one calls just in the last 30 days. And then other people, they'll pay for my grant, my group call, because the group call, $39. But then now you get to ask me questions, but you just gonna be in a group of other people. They're small though. There's only 5 of us in there. But we come together and we can ask those questions, right? And then other people may want the answer immediately, or they're trying to find out then they buy my book, $27, all different places. And I'll probably within the next week have the Poetic Pitch ebook done, and that'll be cheaper too. That'll probably be more like a $9 product on how to do the pitch. The 23 seconds though. Like, how do you create the concise message about what it is that you're doing? Get that T-Mobile 4-year hotspot and you're good for internet. Oh, that's crazy. That don't even sound. Is that good internet? That sounds like I'm about to. I don't even know if I got the best internet. I tried to get the best internet I could find where I'm at. Internet is crucial for me. Crucial. I think I had internet before I had groceries in my fridge. Like, I bought my router before I even got the keys to this apartment. I was not playing. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. That's just me though. I'm not saying that you should be prioritizing your bills like that, but like, and mind you, I got a car note, I got credit card, you know what I'm saying? I got all that, all that kind of stuff. So that's what that is. And I live my life just like that. All right. So MSM said they're interested in pitch training. Let's have that conversation. I'm not taking, it'll probably be, the ebook is going to be done within like the next 2 weeks. So I'll definitely make content about that on my social media channels. But my next slot for taking on clients isn't until the second week of May. Because I currently have 2 nonprofits that I'm working with right now. But yeah, and I also do pitch training for venture capital funds. And it's more so because I'm obsessed with telling stories. And I think it's because of the, the poetry, the me being on stage, all those things like that. But I am obsessed with like figuring out how to position words in the right place to make people feel exactly what it is that you want them to feel. That's like, I love it when it hits. Like when someone say something and the little hair stand up, I'd be like, oh my God. You know what I mean? They say something, I'm like, oh wow. You know? That bird. I'm not getting anything for me though. Lat Venture, Connecticut, or with a significant technology component, 150K, roundtable accelerator, pre-seed. I'm also pre-seed, by the way, which means that like it's not idea because I kind of built the landing, and I also have about 200 people, but I don't really know if that's pre-seed. It might still be idea, but I'm like idea pre-seed stage, and pre-seed is like means that I'll have early traction. Okay, does this match me? I see capital hands-on help and great co-working locations. You see what I'm saying? This is why I be wanting to do the accelerator, because instead of me paying for a co-working space that I want, I'm just gonna go to I'm gonna apply for an accelerator program, and they'll give me that as one of the benefits. Bet. You know. Oh, this is New York City. Somebody was in New York. If I end up here, come through. I got a spot for us to link. Alumni companies raised over $2 billion. Runs 2 4-month programs a year. Technologists. Okay, we look for companies from anywhere in the world that are able to take advantage of the NYC opportunity as a starting point to enter the market for their product or service. Interesting. This is a lot of credit benefits, fee-free. Oh, that sounds nice. We're straight. Okay, I like that. $5,000 in open AI credits. Airtable, I use that. I use Anthropic. Okay now. Okay now. But do I match though? Oh, you got to give up equity. There it is. There it is. Yep. You invest $150,000 on the post money safe in return for 6% of each company. I ain't even really made company yet to be out here trying to figure out. That's the other part too. I have to learn all these terms. I think someone told me what SAFE stood for. My lawyer did, maybe like a few days ago when I was talking. I was like, what is yeah, something about it. You know what I mean? Securing as some fundamental. I don't know. Whoever the military, y'all all acronyms. That probably. Have you ever won any grants on Skip? I have not. I haven't applied to any grants on Skip. All of the grants that I apply for are probably not ones that you've heard of. Like it's not like Skip is Skip the same thing as that's not Hello Alice. Skip is something different too. I haven't done either one of those. But no. The most of the stuff that I've won is I've won private money, I've won federal money. I won a grant from AT&T. I won one from like nonprofits, you know. The pools of the grants that I've applied for, I'm pretty sure the pools are smaller. Like I won a grant one time for someone to pay for my LLC. And it was like a woman who was like in Abu Dhabi and she wanted to give back. I found it on Instagram. Just found it on Instagram and she paid for it. She paid for, starting my business and all. So shout out to her. I don't even know what happened to her. She was like, I'll pay for all your expenses for anyone who wants to start their business. I'm like, exactly. This is what I be saying. I like using other people's money to do what I need to do. Okay. But I have not done any of those on Skip. See what else we got over here. New Mexico. Psychedelic and frontier mental health. Yeah. If any of these, that's also the other asterisk too. If like a lot of these grant lists, they'll be like, oh, there's $3.8 million in funding. You're missing out on, $20 million in funding. You don't qualify for it all. You don't qualify for it all. You probably don't qualify for most of it. TBH. Okay, you don't qualify for it all. So if anybody got one of them grant lists that be like, 100 million, oh, we got $100 million in funding in our grant list, but how much do I qualify for? Because if I'm not from Delaware, I ain't a veteran, and I don't write with my left hand, I might be out of all them things. Yeah, the mental health thing is a thing, but like it's also for whatchamacallit. This is tech. Right? So this is tech. It's an accelerator program. I'm gonna pull it up though, because you're right. You do the mental health thing, but let's go through it. If you want to do, and this is why I say it's this. Yeah, so it's healthcare and med tech. So if you want to do something in tech for mental health but this is see, look at this. While billions are flowing into psychedelic drug development, the infrastructure to deliver these therapeutic modalities is not ready. So this is about psychedelics. This is about psychedelics. I don't know if that fits. I don't think that fits your criteria. Let's see what we got. 3-month accelerator. This is on health too. What is this one? 12-week investment. 1 million in startups. Okay. For profit, early traction, any industry, global opportunity. Okay. You're talking to me. I feel like I saw this because I saw this name, like Andreessen, most respected. Fully in person in San Francisco. Covers every critical stage of startup growth. They intend to invest up to 1 million in each company accepted into the program, making this one of the most generous accelerator investments available. Eligibility is broad and exclusive from all backgrounds and from anywhere in the world, and our work can apply. Solo founders can apply, though teams with contemporary skill sets are preferred. Able to build and iterate on your product internally, which typically means having a technical co-founder or equivalent expertise. I might not qualify for this. Yeah, I could try, because it's not like I don't qualify on paper, but if they are in San Francisco, I know who I'm going up against. They got it. They got it. I believe in them. This one is for CPGs companies, helping health tech founders. I need to make this money by tomorrow. What time is it? Oh, it's almost my bedtime. Y'all got me out here up past my bedtime. How long have I been on live? All right, we got 5 more minutes. If you got some questions, drop them in the chat. Baltimore, where you at? You got a health startup? Baltimore? This is anywhere. We got 5 more minutes. I ain't even have dinner yet. And I know I'm going to just relax. Yeah, they're investing. Pitch video is required. Okay, that's fine. 200 tech stars. Interesting. Oh, and they have follow-up funding. 5% of the company in common stock plus a future value of $200 capped at. I don't know none of this numbers. I don't know what uncapped MFN safe means. I got to start learning. And I don't even know if I got to. Is it just me? But sometimes I'll be really feeling like, because I was looking at this, by the way, sorry. Is it just me? But sometimes I'll be telling myself like, oh, I got to learn this. But then I'm saying like, do I really have to? I don't care about looking dumb. Because I learned that I don't know it all a long time ago. In fact, the more I learn is the less I know. So when I be in these spaces and they be like, oh, and I'd be like, talk to me like I'm 5. Say what? It's like, oh, I thought since you were going for it. I understand I'm doing what I'm doing, but it don't mean I know all the things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I should understand some of these things, but I just don't know if it's a requirement where some people will be like, oh, I got to learn how to do this. I'm like, do you? Because we all have strengths and weaknesses. You know, I'm really strong here. Dubai was incredible, by the way. Dubai was incredible simply for the fact that that was the first time I had ever performed overseas. And I went to Dubai in 2022. It was supposed to be in 2020 because I went for the World Expo. So I represented the United States at the World Expo. I was in Dubai for 2 weeks. I brought my best friend with me, and I performed at the USA Pavilion in Expo City. I did 6 shows at Expo City. I went to Abu Dhabi. I was at, universities. I met Gary Vee because I was performing at the United Emirates Literature Festival, and he was there, and I was like, "Oh, this is so fire!" Yeah, and it was nerve wracking. I will say that because, I am. How do I say this? I'm black. I'm visibly queer. I was going across the world. No one knew me. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, that's why I also had to bring my friend with me. Cause I was like, girl, somebody got to come with me. Somebody got to come with me. I ain't going all the way over there by myself. Ooh, I need somebody in my corner. So it was a little nerve wracking because it was like all those things about who I was, and then also like I was going there to be on the largest stage. The fact that I even got that opportunity was just like, but it was great. It was so chill, and the people there were so nice. Like, especially at the colleges. The colleges that I went to, they were just like, oh my god, like American poet. Yeah, it was fire. And that was what introduced me to cultural diplomacy. If anyone in this chat is an artist and they don't know the words cultural diplomacy, write those words down. Because that was when I learned what cultural diplomacy was. And I became a cultural diplomat that year. And cultural diplomats are people who represent their country in foreign territories through the arts. So that means I contract with the US government whenever they have residency programs or festivals or international stages. I contract with them to perform. Isn't that crazy? This is before I had any followers. I ain't had no nut. I was contracting with the US government. Why? Because I found the opportunity and I pitched. I came in there heavy. Listen, understand that, poetry has a profound ability to connect human cultures, bridge the divides that I know as an American. I went ham. I don't even remember what I said. I went ham. I'm ready to I'll be getting real emotional. Don't play with me. But cultural diplomacy, look that up if you are an artist or if you know an artist, tell them to look in it. It's slightly different nowadays because of the administration, but don't think that it has completely disappeared, because that was the first time I ever went overseas with the US government. I went again with a program called Next Level as a hip hop artist. I bet you ain't know I can rap. Listen, man, I use words whether they rhyme, whether they on the page, I don't care. You feel me? But I did Next Level, and I went to Costa Rica in 2024, and going to Costa Rica in 2024 gave me alumni status with the US government because I had went twice. That alumni status meant that I was open to government grants that I wasn't open to the year before. In 2025, I got a government grant, and then I hosted my own arts program in Costa Rica, but I went to San Jose instead. And then I picked, through a grant process, I picked 4 artists in Jersey and New York City, and I flew them to Costa Rica to do a residency program. And it was crazy because it was then their first time ever going overseas for their art form. You see what I'm saying? That's how the cycle goes. That's how the cycle goes. And it's like, I could have said immediately, I want my own arts program. That's what I'm gonna do. But it took me, because this is 2022. So it took me 3 years in order to do my own arts program. And in that 3 years, I had submitted that program 13 times. All rejections. I submitted that program 13 times, all rejections. And the only reason I got a yes on the 12 times, and the only reason I got a yes on the 13th time was because I had went to Costa Rica the year before and developed a relationship with the embassy. And then they gave me a letter of support, and that is what got me the yes on my 13th application, was that letter of support. That's what it took. A whole lot of rejections and years. But yeah, I don't think Next Level has a website open right now, but I wish you could look at it because it's fire. If you go scroll down on my page though, I have videos from when I went to Costa Rica. I have all my art stuff still on my page. It's just you gotta do that. That's what you gotta do. You know what I mean? You just gotta move your finger a little bit. That's it. You know. Octavius, what's up? I be seeing some people who be coming back. I like I like the folk that be coming back. I appreciate it. I got somebody who been joining my group calls weekly. I'm like, dang, I need to make a community. Because you paying every single week to come back. And she's like, I just be want to talk to you. You know, gave me the greatest compliment ever. She was just like, cause I asked her, I was like, what is it like when you be coming to these calls? And she's like, I feel like you take my brain out my skull and then turn it around and then put it back in. I said, ooh. That sounds transformational. That sounds transformational. And just because I think I just look at grants differently. I have fun with them. You know, you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some, you're gonna deal with rejections. You know what I mean? You're gonna find ones that work, you're gonna find ones that don't. But the thing is that you just need one person to say yes. Because the fact of the matter is, the more grants you win, the more grants you win. It is a numbers game. It is completely a numbers game. And that's why I like it. Because if you submit for one grant and you get rejected, that's your business because you only did one grant. But if you submit for 100, you're not gonna get someone's gonna say yes. Someone's gonna say yes. And how many yeses do you need? How many? Because once you go through that, and then you like the more grants you win is the more you start winning. Because once you start winning the grants, then other people will be like, okay, you've already done it, you already got capacity, and you learn more about yourself. Because I learned very quickly that there are some things I want to do and I don't want to do that I thought I did want to do. Running a residency program overseas, that sounded real fantastic until I actually had to put in that labor. I was like, oh, am I going to do that again? Am I going to do it like this again? You know, I actually think I did. I had a bit more fun in Costa Rica than I did when I did residency in Orlando. Orlando was fire, but it took Orlando to happen for me to be able to do Costa Rica properly. Anything that you have seen me done on social media, I have done a smaller version of that prior. Everything. Even the company that I'm building right now, I made a version of the same company back in 2021, pre-AI. I spent like $2,000 with like a app company in India to build this platform to help people with their grants. This was years ago. Nobody knew me for grants. Nobody was looking at me for years ago, and it had no business model. So I just wasted, you know, my own money out of pocket, gone. All right. Well, I really appreciate all you guys for coming in. I'm going to let this off. And I'm usually back here nightly, but we'll kind of see because I'm gonna take some space because I am competing in the World Championship this weekend. And by the way, that I'm competing in the World Championship of Public Speaking. I was taking it super seriously in the beginning of the year, but now I'm kind of chill because I'm like, you know what? If I win, I win. If I don't, I don't. I'm kind of trying to just I'm trying to get this bread when it comes to the startup, you know, and that's kind of what has shifted my energy. But thank you. I appreciate the good luck. I'm gonna try to vlog it. My next round is happening on Saturday. So to every single one of you out there, please keep dreaming because the opportunity does exist. I promise you it exists. And in order for you to be able to go after it, please follow me because I just want to give positive energy throughout this process because it's going to be an up and down one. It's not going to happen overnight. And you're going to need somebody to be happy with because you know what I'm saying? Like if I am not the place if you want to do this quickly, I am not. But if you got the patience, you got the time, you got the dedication, we gonna smile all the way until we get this bread. We go, oh, it ain't work out. No worries. Let's go on to the next one. You know what I mean? Like we gonna keep going. And so we can celebrate, you know? And I appreciate every single one of you for hopping in. Peace.